first of all, thank you for visiting with me today.
Sure.
I have to start with Jane Austen and the idea that this is something that she wrote as a much younger woman.
Yeah.
And yet it is still so bloody fantastic. What is it about this woman that we just can't seem to get enough?
She's extraordinary. I mean, she's a real genius, and it's a very overused word. Just so unbelievably insightful and the most kind of delicate, biting, dry wit, great sense of the romantic. There's not a lot of romance in our movie, actually. Everyone's a bit too naughty, or certainly I'm a bit too naughty for that. But just kind of so acutely socially observant as well, I think, and just observant of humans, which is why I think it's so nice. You know, we've been in a few screenings of this movie and seeing people's reactions to this very naughty character and gasping. And we're in, 2016. It's like, it's amazing that something that Jane Austen wrote when she was 20 can inspire gasps and laughter like that.
There is lots of laughing out loud.
Yeah,
That's
which is surprising,
astounding.
right?
You've done period pieces before.
Yeah.
You've also done films that take place in the future or perceived future.
Right.
Are those two very different animals, for lack of a better phrase, or is it all about being in a different time than what we are used to here? And why is it? What's the appeal of each?
I don't know. I mean, it's always nice to have things that kind of catch your imagination and get you, really interested. But then I think any movie that you're really interested in the script, whether it's present day or not, in the past it's interesting to see what was different and what was, socially sort of, especially for women. There's a lot of research I did on this movie where the character of Lady Susan is so particularly of that period of time where women were not having access to education and jobs and opportunities like that. So that, my character is really kind of beating a system that she's too intelligent for. She's too sparky and lively to be constrained like that. So some of her behaviour, I think, is so easily explained by that. If she was around today, she'd just have a really good job and a bunch of lovers and nobody'd say anything,
And having one delightful life, I'll tell you.
Yeah, exactly.
She would. At this point in your career, what does a script have to say to you for you to say yes and invest the time and the research that you do to dig deep into these roles?
I mean, I when I started out, my aim was to have the opportunity to do as many different types of things as possible. I felt that I really wanted to kind of always feel a little bit like there was a challenge, and that was really what sent me into action movies. I hadn't had a kind of long burning desire to shoot machine guns or anything like that. It was just much more a sense of, I wonder if that's something I could pull off, This feels slightly different because this feels a little bit more like a return to a kind of more of a comfort zone, because that's how I started out doing movies like this. But really, you can fall in love with a character even if they're rotten, and I think that's the most important thing. And of course, who's directing it, that's very important.